Hey guys, it's Miss Butler, and I got a quick video to help you memorize some of the polyatomic ions on your list. Okay, I know this slide looks a little wordy, but I want you to focus on this little phrase right here that says Nick the Camel. Okay, Nick the Camel ate a clam supper in Phoenix. So this 8 is telling me that this phrase is to help me remember all of the ATE, the 8 polyatomics. Okay, so the polyatomic ions that end with ATE. So in the phrase, the underlined letter, which is the first letter, or in the case of clam, the first 2 letters, but that represents the element symbol of the first one. So Nick would be nitrogen, camel would be carbon, clam would be chlorine, supper would be sulfur, and phoenix would be phosphorus. Okay, in the word, the number of consonants represents how many oxygen atoms there are. Okay, and then the number of vowels represent the number or the charge, the magnitude of the charge. These are all negative polyatomics, so it's just really the magnitude, how many negatives, -2, -3, that type of deal. So let's see how this works. So Nick the Camel ate a clam supper in Phoenix. So let's say we want to figure out nitrate. We're going to use Nick. Okay, so the first letter is N. So that's going to be my start. Okay, so we have nitrogen for nitrate. And then in the word Nick, there are 3 consonants. If you're not good at English, N, C, and K are the consonants. So we get O3. And then in the word Nick, there is 1 vowel, that's the I, and nitrate has a -1 charge. So that's how we can figure out the formula for nitrate, the 8 polyatomic with nitrogen. Quick shout out, I know these slides look pretty old school. 2011, graduated high school, it was a good year for Miss Butler. All right, so here are the other ones. We already did Nick. And then we have camel, so that's carbon. The word camel has 3 consonants, C, M, and L. So that's O3, and there are 2 vowels, A and E, so carbonate is CO3 2-. Clam, and just so you guys know, the word clam also works for bromate. It has the same formula. And iodines, polyatomic, iodate, okay? So same formula for clam, but it's going to be ClO3 because of the 3 consonants and then a -1 charge. And then supper is for sulfate, so there's 4 consonants and 2 vowels in the word supper, so SO4 2-. And then phoenix has 4 consonants, H, N, or P, H, N, and X, and then 3 vowels, so PO4 3-. So that's how we can figure out all of the 8 polyatomics. If we can use the Nick the Camel ate a clam supper in Phoenix to figure out the formula of the ATE or 8 polyatomic, okay, that's like the head of the family. All of the other similar polyatomics are based off of the ATE polyatomic. So if we take the 8 polyatomic as kind of our center, so here's an example, chlorate, and I subtract an oxygen. So I have 1 less oxygen, ClO2. That gets the ite ending, so chlorite. If I subtract another oxygen, so now 2 less, ClO, same charge, -1, we put a hypo in front, so hypochlorite. And then this one is if we add an oxygen, so we take the 8, ClO3, and we add an oxygen, ClO4, with a -1, we put per in front of the 8, so perchlorate. Okay, same idea, here's sulfate, 1 less would be sulfite. So hopefully this will help if you can figure out the 8 polyatomics, the ATE polyatomics. If there are any other family members, right, ones that are similar, maybe with more or less oxygens, you can also learn the names. All right, so using that pattern, I have bromate, right? He gets the same, bromine comes from clam. Okay, so we're going to use the same kind of trick word for bromine and iodine as well. And then this guy is from supper, sulfate. So we have the 8 polyatomics, and remember those are kind of the main ones that we're going to go off of. I would like you to pause the video. You can ignore the acids for right now. Okay, so your goal right now is to pause the video and answer these on your own and see if you get them right. So pause it and I'll put up the answers in a minute. I'm just kidding, I'm putting them up right now because when you pause the video, I don't know if you pause it for a minute or not. So I'm just trusting that you paused and I will show you the answers. All right, so hopefully you see the pattern. One more oxygen for here. Same charge, we put per in front of the 8 polyatomic name. If we take one less, we change the ATE to ite, so bromite, sulfite. And then 2 less from the ATE polyatomic gets hypo and then ite as the ending. So this bro with the -1 charge is hypobromite and this is hyposulfite. Okay, one last piece. This is not really with polyatomics, this is for acids. So if I bond a hydrogen with the ATE polyatomic, so in this case it would be HBrO3. I only need 1 hydrogen because the bromate is a -1 charge. The name of this acid gets an ick. So this would be bromic acid. Okay, this guy would be H2SO4. Here's the H polyatomic. It has a -2, so I need 2 hydrogens to make it the acid neutral. But this would be sulfuric acid. So we change the name of the acid if it's the 8 polyatomic to ick acid. Okay, here's how I remember it. I ate an icky acid. Okay, if we make an acid out of the ite polyatomic, so we bond a hydrogen with the ITE polyatomic, this would be HBrO2, and it would be bromous acid. So we change the ending to OUS. And then this one would be H2SO3 because the ite polyatomic is SO3. And this would be sulfurous acid. Okay, so just a connection with naming acids if you need that as well. But mostly this video is to help you memorize some of the polyatomic ions, specifically those that end with ATE, and then their family members, ite, and then like per 8 if there's 1 more oxygen, or hypoite if there's 2 less oxygen. So hopefully that helps.